In this video we're going to be making this apple painting and we're going to be doing it entirely with our hands. By the way, this is going to be quite messy, so I've got my apron ready and you might want to protect your table and make sure that you've got plenty of soap for afterwards. Because it's going to be a bit messy. So it'll be really good for this piece if you have some painting paper, like this is watercolour paper, but if you don't worry, you can just do it on a normal piece of A4. And the first thing we're going to do is draw the apple with a pencil, but very, very lightly, because we don't want big heavy pencil lines to show through when we finished our painting.
First do a line about a third of the way from the bottom of the page, and then to draw the apple you're doing almost a heart shape, just without a dip in the middle. Notice how I'm using the pencil very lightly and continuously using the rubber to correct what I'm doing.
We're not using paintbrushes for this painting, we're going to be using our hands. And our hands are fantastic tools for painting and drawing. And there's lots of different marks you can make with your hands, so I'm just going to show you some. So I've got some blue paint here. So obviously I can use my fingers and I can just make different size spots with my fingers. See, there's a few different sizes there. I could use the tip of my finger to make a smaller spot. I could use the whole of my flat finger there to make it more like a big blob, fingerprint style. And notice how sometimes it's dark and then when the paint's in it you can make it lighter as well. Then we could also use the side of our hand. It's going to get really messy. Just go for it, right? And the whole hand. So, oh gosh, it's been a long time since I did this with a whole hand. It's not very even, so you'll have to make sure that your hands are evenly covered when you do that. Whole hand prints. Not sure how much I'm going to be using that, but it's nice to know what you can do. You are going to need a lot of paper towels available for this, so that you can just swipe your hands. It's not going to be practical to go and wash them in between each thing. As long as there's no actual paint colour coming off, then that will be enough for our purposes, and then you can wash your hands properly at the end. Okay, so to start with I'm just going to use the flat part of my finger. And I'm going to fill up the background.
For this painting we're only using the primary colours, red, blue and yellow, and the secondary colours, purple, orange and green. Notice that the fingerprints are vertical, but I do alter their angle slightly. For the table I've used my thumb, and you can see that I'm doing it horizontal, again altering the angle slightly and putting the darker marks on the left hand side of the painting. Then dotting some of the purple into the blue and some of the blue into the purple.
Okay, so now that we've done the background, mostly, we're going to start doing the red of the apple.
When you do this, try and alter the angle of your fingerprint to match the shape of the apple and leave a little spot of white in the top right hand corner as well.
And to make the brown for the core, I'm going to mix some red and blue, which won't make a very nice colour. But because we're only using primary and secondary colours, so we have to do what we can. That looks quite brown to me. I'm just going to use the tip of my finger to do it.
Then use the same dark to create a shadow.
The shadow will go right underneath the bottom and a little bit to the left because we're going to have the light coming from that way. This really makes the apple look like it's sitting on the surface.
Then use some of this dark in the background. Now it's time for some yellow, and this is mostly going to go on the right hand side of the apple where the light is shining, and then you can put some in the background, but make more yellow marks on the right hand side where the light is. Now for some orange, which will mainly go in the middle area of the apple, and again dot it around in the background. Now for some green, largely on the left of the apple, and also, guess what? In the background. Purple on the left hand side of the apple, and in the right of the dimple on the top. And then some of the dark just to really deepen the shadows, particularly on the left of the apple. And underneath, as you can see, and on the top in the dimple, and anywhere else you feel needs a bit more darkening as well. Then you can put some red on the table underneath the apple, which will really make it look like it's sitting on the table because it's reflected colour. Then you can just sharpen the edge of the apple on the left hand side with some more blue. And even more blue, just again on the left of the apple. Now this activity is obviously a bit too advanced for young children, but whilst you've got the paints out, they just love having fun with paints, exploring different marks they can make with their hands, so it's really nice to just give them that opportunity.
So here it is, a lovely apple picture done entirely with your hands, which is vibrant and colourful because of the very ingenious way we have put the colours down. Well done. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe to my channel where you'll find other art activities and other things related to art. Thank you so much for joining me. See you next time. Bye. I'm going to be showing you how to make this lovely colourful apple painting.
You got it on your arm.
Where?
On your elbow. Other one. Other side.
A bit messy. Dirty, messy, dirty, messy. Messy, messy, gola messy, gola messy.